Hi guys, welcome back to another vlog of this channel. I'm here to talk about the Jasad crown. Yes, I started the second book right after I finished the first, and I didn't want to lose the timing, because if you are here, I hope you had watched my first vlog and I hope you had read the first book, okay? Because probably I'm gonna give some spoilers, so I didn't want to lose the timing to read this because I didn't end the first book loving the story. I mean, I did like the story, I did like the universe that the author created, but I didn't like that much the writing style, and I think they were lacking so many things. The dogs of the neighbors always have to bark when I start recording. I don't know why. Anyway, so I felt like there were other books that I want to read right now, but I thought if I start them, I will never turn back to this. Probably. So let me start this. And I did right after I finished. And I'm already in, I forgot to record the beginning of the vlog, so I am already on 30%, 13% actually, and I'm enjoying. This is better than first for now, because I think I feel actually the story more fluid, all right, and the writing also seems more cohesive, and I don't know, I think this one is going to be better, which for me is it's amazing. Because it's a story that I really wanted to like I don't know, I think the cover it's pretty, the idea is amazing, and it was always the type of book that it was like, man, if I read it, I think I'll love it. And so when I end the first book, I was like, damn, I didn't like that much. So yeah, I'm with really high hopes for this, and I'll come back probably when I reach 20%. So yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye. So I finally reached the 20% of it, and guys, this is so much better than the first, because I feel like she's finally finding time to tell us the story and to explain the things that it's going on. Like, the scenes are so well structured right now and well constructed. And for example, we need to talk about some things that since the first book, she's playing with hallucinations, and we don't know exactly where this has come from, if it's something about Sylvia's magic, because she doesn't know her magic, we don't know her magic, so who knows. And even though it's her magic, like, why she has those hallucinations, and like, this is something important, or it's just her being crazy, we don't know. There are so many questions yet. I hope we get the answers, because it's really interesting. Even in the first book, we have some scenes that are kind of hallucinations, but like, she was, at least what I understood, because most of the scenes I like, action scenes or hallucination scenes, I didn't understand, and because they were so confused to me. But it seemed to me that she was like seeing things and seeing some moments of the past that she couldn't know because she wasn't there, but either way she was seeing it right now through her hallucinations. So like, why this is appearing for her, why, if it's her magic, why her magic is telling those things to her right now. And
So yeah, I want to know this because this is really interesting, and I hope we get some answer. The other thing that I want to mention is that we have some new perspectives. We have Arin perspective. We had Arin perspective on the first book, but we're like so few. I think 2 or 3 chapters only. Now we have more of him, and I like it a lot. I love him as a character. And we had, at least for now, we have also Cepha's point of view. And like, what can I say about it? Because this was a problem for me in the first book. Like, Cepha and Marek are the only friends that Sylvia has. And we only know that because she tells us. Because like during the book we don't see them acting as friends as much. Like, okay, they do things for each other, they save each other a lot of times, but we don't see them interacting. You know, like, where is the friendship? Where is the communication? Where is the sharing? Where is the care? I mean, there is caring, but where is the sharing? And so, like, there were a lot of times that I was questioning the role of them in the story and why they were there. And now they did that, at least Cepha, I don't know if Marek is going to have a point of view as well, but like, now that Cepha has a point of view, I'm wondering if she's going to become an important character in the story. Also, there is a thing about a ring. There was mentioned in the first book. There was a scene about a ring in the first book, and this ring is mentioned again in the second book, but I still don't understand what the hell does it mean, this ring, and why it's so important. So yeah, I'm a bit lost, but I'm enjoying a lot. This is so much better. Like, I don't know, this is so much better.
Adding the man that you are, the man that you are. I have no words. Actually, I what I really wanted in this book, those two books, is that had a glossary, because there are a lot of terms here that I don't understand, and I search on Google, and I don't feel they give me a proper answer because I still don't understand. And so yeah, I wanted to understand, because I read those terms and I just skip it. I just skip because I don't understand, and I keep my reading pretending that they are not there. But yeah, that's it for now.
Does he know where she is? Ari. Anyway, I'm at 41%, I guess. And it's time for us to talk about how the author build up those two characters, Arin and Sylvia, because I'm just realizing now that they are actually very, very well made up for us, for you to understand what I'm talking about. Both of them, we are seeing now more of their past, and especially more about Arin's past. And we are understanding that both of them were raised in pain. And I mean, and what I want to tell here is how the author, like, made them be so equal, but at the same time so different from each other. Because, like, both of their relationship with their parents were bad. Sylvia lost his father when she was very young. The mother was locked in a tower because everyone thought that she was completely mad. The grandparents didn't raise her. She was basically tossed to the servants and the assistants and whoever was the time to be her babysitter. And Arin had a very complicated relationship with his parents. Like, his father was was is not the correct term because he still is very demanding of him, and even tortured him, like, physically and psychologically during his entire life. and with his mother, like he had a good relationship, but he also resented her a bit for the way that she acts. So like it was complicated, and while Sylvia had very like she always felt very distant from Jasad and from her kingdom and from her duty as the heir of Jasad. Arin was, since like his first day alive, he was teached and like declared the heir of Nizal, so he needed to act as one. And so like he was so like after everything that happened with Sylvia, she felt very resentful that she had to fight for a lost kingdom that was her kingdom, even though she didn't feel connected with it, because like she when her kingdom fell, she was very young, so she didn't build in herself this sense of honor and duty toward the kingdom and toward the people. So she was just devastated to lose her family, and she thought that was very unfair because of the things she believed was the reason for that. And now both of them like are watching their beliefs and their past being destroyed by the lies that they were told. So like the duality of this is amazing, and I feel that I'm not telling much because I don't want to give any spoiler, but this is well made. This is well made, and I'm glad I gave it this book a chance, that I didn't stop in the first book just because it was not good as I thought. Yeah.
Okay, we need to talk. I arrived at 50% and I cannot explain what is happening, but we need to talk about Sylvia's power. Like, I'm sensing something. I don't know why, but it's kind of reminding me a bit of the From Blood and Ash universe, about the primal stuff. If you read, you probably know what I'm talking about. Like, not like that, but something like that. I don't know. I mean, I think it's not even like that, but it's my brain, is the way that my brain is trying to explain what I'm reading. Because we are at 50% of the second book, and this is the last book, and we still don't understand what her power does and what she's capable of. Like, she's showing a lot more of her powers in this book, and every time that she does, it's a different thing. She's able to do something different, and to be honest, I don't know if I like it, because like I was talking with my friend Gabriela, that is the friend that you hear a lot of me saying about her in these vlogs, because we have been reading a lot of books together. So, and we were talking some time ago about how the authors give too much power to the protagonists, and I feel like this is the case. Like, Arin is the best of the best, and like he does impossible things, and he's so strong and so controlled of himself and his emotions, etc. And we still don't understand what Sylvia does, but it seems like she's the best of the best. Like, she's something unique and too powerful for her own good. And oftentimes when the author does such thing, it happens that the things get solved too easily for the main character. Like, when he has too much power, what in his life he cannot defeat, he can defeat anything. So what is the danger? You understand what I'm talking about? Why I should worry about it? Because it's obviously that they can defeat it, whatever appears in front of them. because they are the best of the best. So yeah, just some thoughts about something that I'm not understanding still. But I'm with my Kindle still open because I arrived in this part where Arin is with Sylvia, and is a chapter of it's his point of view, and he says like she smelled terrible, like mud and river mold, but underneath it was the unmistakable sweetness of Sylvia, and this is so real. Like the fact that he said that she smelled terrible, that is so real, that is so realistic, because on fantasy books, especially high fantasy, people don't get shower, at least not as much as they should. So like they spend 90% of their time stinking. And still they still like usually the romantic interest describe them with a characteristic smell that it's amazing, and you know, like that's not true. And we usually forget about it. We usually forget that those people usually don't get shower. So yeah, it was little detail that the author added in the story, and I really like. Okay, let's talk a bit about what I just read. I'm at 60%, and I finally understood what she's becoming, because I thought that she was becoming something else, like a goddess, or I don't know. And it's not like that actually. Her magic, it's making her being mad. So every time that she uses magic, it consumes a bit of her. And this happened, I guess, that this happened because like she had some episodes when she was a kid, and I think for at least what I'm understanding, this is why her grandparents decided to put the cuffs on her so she couldn't use magic, because if her magic consumes her entirely, it's not just dangerous for her but dangerous for the entire world, because she can collapse and like destroy the world with her magic. And that's it basically. So interesting, very interesting, because now she's in a situation where she needs her magic to help her people, because she decides to that now she's not going only to seek survival and fight for herself, but also she's going to fight for the Jasad, for her people. And for that, she needs to use magic. But if she uses magic, she might end up being consumed by it. So it's a delicate situation. And I just finished a chapter that like irritates me a bit, because she is deciding to do things alone. And since the beginning of the first book, she mentions that there's this person that she says that it's very stupid, and this person just proves to her that he was not as stupid as she thought. And I was like, I knew it, because she claimed she was like always talking in a very superior way how stupid he was. But we never see him doing anything that stupid to own this title, you know. He almost even doesn't appear in the story, so like we don't see, we just have her opinion about him, but we don't see him doing anything stupid. And right now he did something that was not stupid at all. So I'm like, see? And she dealt with the situation. She dealt with the situation, and I think it was the only way possible, but it ended up
bad for her, and now she'll have to solve it. And I have no clue about how this is going to end up, to be honest. Also, there's one more thing that I'm gonna say. I'm about to read another chapter of Sefa, and we are at 60%, and I still don't understand their role. And by their, I mean Sefa's and Marek's role on this duology, to be honest. Like the first book, they did absolutely nothing to the story. They were just there following Sylvia. And now they are separated and they are in their own missions, their own secret missions, but they're still doing nothing to me. Like if we cut off their chapters, the story would be the same. So I don't know, I'm expecting that at the end they will bring up a huge solution that will save everybody. That's my expectation. Otherwise, just a waste of pages and characters, because I don't know. And yeah, I'll keep reading.
Always tried to do is like give something to the fans that they didn't expect. When we had done the first half of the tour, what the fans didn't know at the time was that I was writing a brand new album, Torture Poets Department.
I've reached 70% finally. Actually, I did it last night and it was wild because I was at 68% and I was enjoying, but at the same time I was like, okay, I just want this to end because I want to read other things. I don't. It feels like I'm reading this for the entire year, and I want to move on. And then, when I reached 70%, the story made a flip, and I was like, wow, because we discover a huge thing at 70%. Actually, Arin discovered a huge thing at 70%, and he starts to deliver this to us, and I was like, what are you telling this right now? And it was not just what he discovered, but there was something about a character that I was like, what? I mean, it blew my mind for a while, and I was shocked, totally speechless. But at the same time, I was so sleepy and I was so tired, and I said, no, I have to go to bed. This will have to wait for tomorrow. So I went to bed. And I was about to read tonight. But I think this time that I got to myself on like this period without reading from last night to tonight, I was reflective about it, and I was like, you know what? I mean, it's amazing that we are discovering all of this, but at the same time, I was like feeling a bit like the first book, that she doesn't show us enough. She just popped the information, and I was like, we lost so much time with other things, like with the secret missions of Marek and Sappho, for example, and we didn't see Arin coming to this conclusion, discovering all of this, because he went on research. He sent people researching for him. He went himself to research, and we just didn't see it. And then we have a chapter of him where he tells everything that he discovered. And like those things were so important, so much more important than everything that we read in the last chapters. Why we didn't see that? So I was like, all the magic and all the importance that it has in that moment kind of lost the effect on me after I thought about it. And I just went to watch the Taylor Swift documentary, The End of an Era, and I mean, I'm obsessed with Taylor Swift, so like I just watched the 3 episodes in non-stop. That's it. Now it's like past midnight and I have to sleep. So the reading will have to stay for tomorrow, and that's it. it seems like it's been ages, years, centuries, but I finally finished the Jasad Crown, and my thoughts on it are actually, I don't know what to say, because I was super invested, like I was at least more invested in this second book than I was in the first, as you saw throughout the clips of this video. But after the 50%, like 60%, I felt like this story was going nowhere, and I was stuck in the same place. And I know it's a huge book, and sometimes huge books give us this type of feeling, but I don't know, I felt stuck. I even told my friend, like, I can't handle this book anymore. Not because it's bad, but I feel like I've been reading this since ages, and I want to go for something else. I don't want to read it anymore. And so yeah, like I felt even though I was more engaged to the story, and I felt like the writing was better, we understood a lot more about the word itself, I still felt disconnected with the characters. For me, the best one is Arin, and having his point of view in this book was a relief, because his point of view was way more interesting than any other point of views of this book. And even though, as I told you, like, there is this specific chapter of him at 70%, I think 73%, where he basically unraveled all his past, and he discovered all the secrets of his father and the kingdom, basically. And like, he threw this information to us, and I felt like I missed the whole thing, because I felt that this topic of his past, and the magic of the kingdoms, and the history of the kingdoms was so much more important than a lot of other things that happen in this book. And we just discover, like, hey, this is it. I discovered just that like 5 minutes ago, and now I'm telling you. And I was like, but how you did it? And like, I felt like we could have spent 2-3 chapters, even 1 chapter only, watching him going step by step on those discoveries, instead of wasting time, wasting pages with other things and other characters of this book. So, but even though I think Arin was the best, because Stefan and Marek, as I told you, like, they were in a mission. I still don't get it. Sylvia, poor girl, because she was like, her magic was consuming her and was making her mad. And reading her characters, we could really see it. Like, we could see that she was mad. She always been mad. She has always been mad. And read her chapters was like read a chapter of a mad person. So, like, she was always angry, she was always mad, she was always like in 1 second of blew up everything. So yeah, mad. And there was even like the end, talking about the precise end. I think he ended in a good way. I like it. I think it was a good way to finish. And we even had glimpse of how everything happened, how everything began. Began. I think it's began, right? Like past, began. I'm sorry. English is not my first language, so how everything started, okay? How everything started, and so this was nice to see. I like it, and it was a good end. There is, but just for you to understand, like how much I felt disconnected with the characters, that there is important depth here. I'm not going to say, just in case, but there is important depth. And by important, I mean, I know that it's important, but for me it wasn't important. But like, it's important, and I felt nothing. Except for the fact that I felt actually surprised, because I didn't expect that she was going to do it. But besides surprise, I felt nothing. So, no connections with the characters. Arin was the best. The story, like, it's even strange because I think this book is better than the first. But if I'm going to rate, and I rated the first one 3.75. Technically speaking, I should give a better grade, a better rate to this book. I should give at least 4, and this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to give 4. But my feeling is that even though he is better, he's still at 3.75. Okay, just to clarify, to put a statement on it. It was good. Maybe not that much well executed, but yeah. Anyway, this is it. I actually I was really tired of this story at the end, so I don't have much things to say, and that's it. I'm going to end the vlog here. Hope to come back soon with another vlog, with another book, and I see you in the next video. Bye bye.